My name is Charlotte Binns. I am the Sustainability Director for the Village of Irvington. This is irvingtongreen.org. It's a website I built for the village. And just to give you a little background to this game, this is a website that has all the details about this game and about everything related to sustainability in the area. So I encourage you to check it out. There's a lot of information about climate planning, energy, house efficiency, energy smart homes, solar, EVs, all kinds of stuff, land, sustainable landscaping, all kinds of stuff. Waste management and events. We have a lot going on. So this particular project comes out of our climate planning, which is one of the main things I've been working on for the last few years. We started out with our greenhouse gas emissions inventory for government operations, assessing the impact of our buildings and fleet and commute, and putting into effect a plan to mitigate those emissions, which is being enacted now. And the last step of our climate plan is to create more adaptation and resilience, because even while we reduce emissions, we know that a certain amount of climate change is already underway and that we need to plan for increased hurricanes, flooding, droughts, fires, etc. And many of these things lead to increased power outage for more significant periods of time. So how do we plan for this? Twofold. One, I am working with the police and fire department to update our comprehensive emergency management plan. And two, building up neighborhood networks at the hyper-local level, because if you look at these catastrophes that are happening across the country and the world, the ones that do the best and fare the best are the ones that have neighborhood networks where people really know each other and know how to look out for each other. So I was thinking about that and thinking about fun, crazy things I like to do, and came up with this idea of a zombie game. So to take you there, we're building out this emergency preparedness page. It's all a work in progress, but you'll find a ton of resources here for both emergency preparedness and mutual aid, which is kind of the next level of what we're hoping to achieve here. So in terms of the game, today, May 8th, is the last day to register. This talk right now is just kind of a repeat of what I gave last night at the library, which was not required, just helpful. And while registrations for new teams ends today, we will be able to, teams that are established will be able to add players as the month goes on and momentum is building. In terms of what the teams are, basically, we have spent a lot of time trying to figure out how to slice and dice the neighborhood and map it out and segment it. There are some areas that are already well defined and have WhatsApp group or Facebook groups fully established, and others that are not. We don't want to create arbitrary designations. So a certain part of this for us is seeing where people are and learning from you guys what you consider to be your neighborhood and what is already occurring in a natural, self-organized way. And then we can see where the gaps are and help put people together and help start to create new neighborhood nodes, if you will. So this is the registration page. What we're just asking for now is your address. Sorry, this is the first page here. So you don't have to have a neighborhood network already. This is exactly what we're trying to find out. So just tell us where you live, and we will look at all the registrations and put people together. So don't worry if you're not already a part of one of these groups. That's not a problem. A bunch of registrations so far are not. So we will review that tonight and tomorrow morning, and then we will post out who geographically is near each other and what makes sense for teams, and then you guys can go ahead and grow your teams in your communities. So once that is established, gameplay begins, and you have until May 30th to do any of these tasks. Nothing is required. Nothing is too prescriptive. We are just making suggestions and giving resources and letting you tell us what you take on and how you do it, and we will give points for effort and reach. So I'll publish this and you can really comb through it, but just as a quick overview, the first challenge is communications. Do you already have a network, a Facebook group, a WhatsApp group, an email listserv, a text thread, something that is connecting neighbors? If so, what is it? What streets are included? Is every household in that street accounted for, or are people being left out? And if they are being left out, how might we make sure that they are included in the event of emergencies so that nobody's left behind? So for example, perhaps there's some older folks who are not online, and you could create a buddy system to make sure that they are included in village communications when important things are happening. If not, if there is no communication node, then we encourage that team to create one. And that's a similar kind of effort. Figure out with the neighbors what would be the best platform and set something up, and just tell us what you guys achieve, and try to make sure that nobody's left behind. So we're really encouraging people to knock on all the doors within a designated geographic area. The next challenge would be emergency preparedness. Going to presentations like the one that was hosted last night at the library by the Citizens Preparedness Corp. They are offering a whole bunch in the region through the month of May, so you could attend one of those. They wouldn't actually let us record it because they want people to attend in person. It's an hour-long training. There's a lot of ways you could go about getting neighbors and yourself prepared for emergencies. Another one is distributing this American Red Cross preparedness checklist to every door in the neighborhood. You could set up a group to do the Ready Together 7 sessions. That is a much more substantial commitment, I understand, but I know of one pod already that's doing this. So really just where you're at and moving things forward is what we are excited to see. And yes, you can just come up with completely your own plan or let us know what you're doing, and we will be so happy to support you guys where you're at. Tons of more resources can be found at the Irvington Green website, as I showed earlier. The next challenge is making sure that the vulnerable populations are accounted for, and so I've just set up with the fire department, the police department, and the village administration a vulnerable persons registry, and that's over here. That's a voluntary list for people who have any physical or mental challenge that would make it harder for them to cope in an emergency. And there's suggestions for the kinds of people who might be appropriate to join this list. If you guys were just to make sure that anybody in the community who might fit that list knows about it and has the option to sign up, that would help our emergency services staff to know to check up on them. Now, depending on the emergency, our resources will be limited. The police will be tending to the emergency. They may not have the capacity to check on everyone in all situations. So we still very much depend on our neighborhood networks. So you guys might want to collect this information for yourselves as well, and that and more. So the next challenge is mutual aid. And you can go really far with this or not very far. It really depends on what makes sense for you guys and what the appetite is. But, the kind of thing that could be helpful to know in your community if you're really setting up resilience is, who needs help getting down the stairs if the power goes out, who has pets. Maybe you want to distribute those stickers that people put in the windows to say that there's a pet at home in case they're out when something happens. Who might have children at home without any adults during the day and would need to be accounted for if something was happening? Who has a generator or solar and a battery backup? Who has a ham radio? What are people's emergency contact phone numbers and information? In case somebody is in the hospital and you need to figure out how to communicate their next of kin. There's a whole bunch of ideas here, and again, more resources on the website. And we just encourage you to explore this and see what makes sense for you. Additional is just if there's other things you guys are already working on or challenges that we haven't considered, very helpful for us to figure out how to support each neighborhood going forward. And to be clear, this is the first time we're doing this game. It's very much an experiment. We're going to learn a ton about the neighborhoods from this, and that will help us to do the same again next year, roll out a bunch of initiatives that will help neighborhoods to fortify and build resilience going forward. So just tell us what we don't know, and then we can be more helpful. And finally, the whole thing culminates on game day, the big zombie event, which is May 30th, starting at 5:30 p.m. at the Presbyterian Church. Rain date is May 31st. We are still finessing our game rules, and we're going to reveal that closer to the time. But basically, be prepared to get dirty and slay some zombies. It's going to be an exhilarating event, and I'm hoping to have police and fire chiefs and staff there. And it's also in partnership with Comrun and the Rivertowns Playhouse theater group, and Blaine and the Presbyterian Church, of course. So there's a lot of great players involved in this. This is the church, if you don't know, just around the corner from Main Street here. And it's a fantastic location, decent-sized space. There's going to be food trucks, probably some music, maybe a bouncy castle with the obstacle course that you can hide behind. And there's a lot of play here to run around and hide. And I think it should be a lot of fun. So that's the basic run of it. Please make sure to register today, as many people as you can, and we will proceed tomorrow with gameplay and team designation. So thank you, and